And we are live.
Hi.
And people will join from now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to one more session. I bet by this time you might be tired of my face. Uh, but I'm not gonna talk for long. I promise, as always. So we have Bapu like now as a guest. So Bapu is gonna be experience with us. I hope that I will like talk a bit. So is Bapu Kaldar or Kaldar Bapu?
Anything is fine because I have
How
multiple number of blocks in my name.
how do I say?
Yeah, you can call me Bapu. That's simpler to say. Yeah, as a father of nation, Gandhi's
Okay,
name. Yeah. Mhm.
okay. Okay, Babu Kaldar is a strategic design thinker and design activist. He's the founder of Umu Design Foundation and UX India International Design Conference, a non-profit organization founded on the 20. Wow, that is so long ago, more than almost 21 years ago. Well, I bet I didn't even know my name that time. Yeah. Uh, and it grown to become India's most significant design community. So, like Bapu is literally a UX design leader, like from India. If I could summarize his bio, so I'm not gonna talk much. I'll hand over the mic to you, Bapu.
Sure. Yeah. The first of all, congratulations to Gideon and the team for the incredible conference. Okay, I'm honored to be part of this movement. I know what it takes to put up a conference at this scale because I've been doing it for the last 15, 16 years. I understand the sleepless nights you've been going through. And at one of our conversations, Gideon was amazed at our design community, UX India and Yumbo Design Foundation, and asked me to share insights about it. On the way to building our community, we emphasize how to become a purpose driven design thinker by connecting one's passion with the individual purpose by adopting the design thinking framework. So, how to be a purpose driven design thinker to excel in your career? I'm going to discuss about a bit. Uh, if it is fine, maybe you can tell me, Gideon, I'm able to share my screen. Let me know. Am I able to do that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah. Um, okay, now you're able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So, as Gideon said, my name is Bapu Kaladhar. You can keep that Kaladhar first or Bapu because I have more number of blocks in my name. So to make it easy, you can call me Bapu, and my Twitter handle is at Kaladhar. Okay, so let me take through my journey. I think you know him very well. Uh, he set out to influence the future in a positive way. So there has to be a reason you get up in the morning and want to live. So let's see, are we not so exciting to wake up? How can I transition from my not so exciting day job to something that I want to passionate about? So let's see, what are we lacking? Do we need fuel? The fuel is a passion. Passion gives you the fuel to stay the course, and when it may not seem possible, you do it anyway. Let me share my story. As a kid, I realized that I had creative abilities and always been fascinated with art and design forms. But in India, I think most of you know that you have only three choices to make, whether you're engineer, doctor, or a failure. I chose the last one, and my parents supported it. But I struggled with what I want to become. My mom used to inspire me with some iconic leaders of stories. You know him, Gandhi. how he practiced nonviolence and truth in an attempt to achieve the goals he saw as being good for India. And Mother Teresa for her service in Kolkata, and Nelson Mandela for his persistence and patience. I always wanted to do something for the people, but I don't know what to do. I explored what all I know and discovered a few. For example, I let me, I think I, yeah, sorry. I painted, I traveled, I photographed, I did architecture, interiors, and I found a guru on my way and I learned to meditate. I do cartoons, caricatures, I worked in films, and I joined design school. I learned design, and I just still keep my options open. I still want to explore more. So on the journey of getting into design, I came across poorly designed product centers and the suffering we go through. But nobody was talking about design at the time and forget about good design or a bad design. No design at all. And I happened to be one of the early entrants to bring UX design to India because we just now, what you was talking about 20 years back. I realized that design has the power to change the world, and designers are mighty as a community. So, you know that with great power comes great responsibility. That triggered me to start UMO Design Foundation, a not for profit venture. With a vision to build and sustain the implementation of good design for a better living, UMO Design Foundation was launched around the turn of this millennium when the mainstream design was in its infancy. Today, it has emerged into one of the biggest design communities of India with a growing worldwide network. Last year itself, we had around 600,000 digital footprint because of our events and initiatives we have done last year. Our goal is to continue to work towards growing our community by evangelizing design and thereby lead evolution in industry, academia, and governance with design at the center. As we just discussed, UX India, we have celebrated it's one of our flagship programs and the biggest conference in India. We celebrated 15 years. And the pandemic gave us a chance to rethink about our initiatives, introspected, and then we came up with UMO Unites during this pandemic time. And there are six initiatives we found. The first thing is Express. How do you inspire people during this pandemic time through your storytelling? We had a moving stories contest, and Explore was one of the very successful design by social contest, which is actually driving people towards solving world's biggest problems. The contest had around 1,600 people joining it, and 350 people mentored them as in groups. And expertise, we supported people who lost jobs during this pandemic time. And experience, we recently concluded the conference UXI 20. And Excel, that is one of our favorite uh, projects, which is
The
um,
noun wallet can have a couple meanings.
I'm sorry,
1.
this is
A
my
flat, folding pocketbook, especially one large enough to hold paper money, credit card.
sorry for that. So, and Excel is one of my favorite initiatives, which
Okay.
is, oh my God, this is responding. I don't want to take their name again, it responds, which is about bringing design education at the grassroots level. So, Explore, you can actually see some of the entries, wonderful entries, people like families, student, professionals, they've joined this contest and contributed. And the theme was, what if this lockdown extended for the next 1 year? And also the Excel is one thing I was talking about, which is design education. Our idea is to bring in quality education, at the affordable cost. I want everyone in the country, or at least not just only country, across the globe, should be design literate. At least you should know the difference between what is good design and bad design. So now I want to know about your story, because if you look at the journey, there are four parts: the struggle, which is actually, understanding my abilities, talents, and explore. And that is the first phase. And the second phase is getting into a job, somehow making, money to survive. And then third is success. I had good number of awards and for my work, for my design and all. But the fourth one is more fulfilling, which is actually creating excellence, that is significance, committed to a purpose that is bigger than you and it is about impacting others. I would actually ask everyone to look at where you belong. Even if you're not in any of those four, you should start from somewhere, because what is going to help us as a purpose driven thinker, I'm going to talk about it. It's very important for each and everyone to introspect our abilities. Let's look at uh, you know rediscovering. The first is look at the self discovery. See where you are within the 4S: struggle, survival, success, and significance. And do a self discovery to gain insights into your own gifts and talents and passion. Identify an area of work where you have a strong desire to or interest. And then, second step is recognize your potential talents as you are experiencing some degree of success, because you are solving already problems and enabling others to be effective. But don't stop there. Getting to third is validating the impact you are creating. Is it enough? Am I doing the right thing? Am I getting into right area? So that can be taken from feedback from the community itself. Does it look very familiar with some of those processes we follow in our design, like lean UX process? It's very similar, right? So it's a kind of iterative process. We keep reinventing ourselves. So let's look at, if you haven't started it, you haven't thought about, you haven't identified your talents. But remember, every individual has gifts and talents that can make a lasting impact. However, only a majority of people, minority actually, not even majority, minority of people utilize those gifts and talents to live up to their full potential. That means you are not, as a different person. You are also being given a gift of talent. You need to identify what the talent is. And there is no age for it. You can still do it. You can right now, you can do that. Once you identify that, if you are able to tying your gifts and talents with your personal purpose, not only leads to a more successful career, but a significant one. So let's say many boomers, like people like maybe little bit aged, I'm still young, I feel, as they begin to approach the end of their career, are looking for greater insignificance. I'm done with my career. Now I want to volunteer. I want to start a charity. I want to help and donate. But interestingly, many millennials at the other end of their careers are also looking for significance right out of the gate. They are emerging very quickly into purpose driven thinking. Millennials get a lot of recognition for being the purpose driven generation. I hope you understand. Millennial means 18 to 35, searching for jobs that offer a strong sense of meaning, not just a paycheck. From incredible social ventures like the social change volunteering organization, do something, to popular startups like Warby Parker, millennials are bringing purpose to the forefront of today's business culture. So we've been talking about passion and purpose, but it doesn't have to be a non-profit. It can also be like a for profit with a adding third component to it. A business doesn't have to be a non-profit or a social venture to create an environment where employees feel like their work matters. If a company can help individuals better find purpose at work, then the organization will benefit from having more productive and successful employees. So I actually came across, I think most of you know that there is a concept called ikigai. Ikigai is an attitude towards life, a way of finding our optimal activities in life, and set of characteristics that can create meaning and happiness in life. So we've been talking about finding passion. That's more easier because it's emotional and you understand. But identifying purpose take little time. You need to introspect a lot, understanding. So this actually concept, the Japanese concept actually, talks about very simple ways. The four circles, like what you love, what I'm good at, what I can pay it for, what the world needs. The intersection actually brings that purpose. So by asking simple questions like, you know, taking like finding what I want to wake up thinking of what, or and taking it slowly and not worrying. You don't have to worry about it, and it actually helps you to understand nurturing good friendships, small things, small steps, and being optimistic and smiling a lot, reconnecting with nature, giving thanks, and having resilience. So these are all the concepts they talk about, but they actually this circles, the four circles actually talk about passion, mission, profession, and vocation. So what I've done is I've taken these ideas and trying to place them, which is more familiar for us, which is actually design thinking, double diamond process diagram. I was trying to put them into this double diamond diagram, and where you see that discovering your passion, in order to discover your passion, you have to pay attention to yourself. This is because your passion stems from your expressions. Ask yourself to know what your true passion is. For example, what things do I do that give me a joy? What subjects interest me to learn and learn more? And what do I do skillfully, easily, and delightfully? When you have discovered your passion, the next thing is to find out what your purpose is so that you can actually begin to channel your passion in the right direction. In the diagram, I'm trying to put in together. So you identify a passion and then move towards purpose. So how do you ask for purpose? We just discussed about ikigai, the kind of questions we do that. Your passion can be a clue to help you figure out what your purpose is. So a passion is questions are starts with what, and process question, purpose question start with why. Like why do I have this gift? I give this talent. What is so easy for me to do this while I struggle to do other things? So you start understanding your purpose. The issue of purpose might require some deep soul searching and possibly drive inspiration. It takes time, but don't give up. But what happens, if you club these two, you see that you are actually solving some bigger problems, the world big problems, where you are trying to solve the right problem. So instantly, if you look at our design thinking process, we start with the problem. So I'm trying to club these diamonds, double diamonds, purpose, passion, and purpose. And then we have this design thinking process together. The problem is coming from what you identified from the passion and purpose you identified, so that you are solving the right problem which you like to solve. You're not solving somebody's problem. So that actually helps to see when you connect both of them. Your passion can be a, you know uh, maybe trying to understand, could be in the area of art, or maybe your purpose could be you want to develop something in that area for helping people. Then you try to understand what problem it actually solve. So this is how it actually, like, where you are looking at the design thinking process, that is very similar, like define and then discover and define and then prototyping. And when it comes to solution, maybe in the product digital or in a product way, we talk about a solution, or it could be a community, or it could be a service, or it could be any other product. So when you combine these two, I think you are able to bring in a great solution to the world. So looking at all these learnings, the wisdom, if you take, I found four of them really important. So one is, look for a problem to solve, not a job. You always wanted to look at a job that is somebody actually giving you a job. But if you are trying to identify a problem from your own introspection, And if somebody is trying to solve the very similar problem, that means that is your dream job. And focus on strengths to realize career aspirations, not on the weakness. So in our corporate world, they'll tell you that, hey, you are not doing good in these areas. You need to take training and coaching. But if you are a purpose driven person, you focus more on your strengths. That actually makes it more better solution and compensate with other people who have got better strengths and other weaknesses you have. And third point is focus on the future, working backward, not focus on the present, working forward. This is one of the interesting things I wanted to quote. Elon Musk, for example, he looks into the future and travels to that. But in our corporate world, now I realize that, okay, now you have these abilities, now you take up this job. And you are actually starting from now to looking forward. Instead, you have the goal set in the future and walk towards it. And it told take a holistic view of work and family. Don't have to ignore goals and responsibilities outside the office because you always have time for your work but not for family. But if you are a purpose driven person, it's not only you, it is for all. So you should actually have more time with your family. So a whole lot changes in life when you identify your true passion and discover your purpose. It gets more beautiful when you are able to connect your passion with your purpose. You will be proud to be alive, knowing that your energies are being applied in the right direction. Our lives become meaningful through the impact we make on others. More so than living and working just for ourselves, we grow. Our passion has to inspire others' passions and dreams. We are we are able to sustain, as we've been talking about the last couple of minutes, started an organization 20 years back, and if you observe it, it is purely driven by volunteers, and we are able to sustain it for a long time, like 20 plus years. So in my journey, what I learned is this is a very slow process, so you should not give it up. So three things I learned: have faith. Have faith in your ability, have faith in your purpose, faith in your community, and patience. That's so much important. It's very important to have a patience. It'll work. Don't ever give up as quickly as possible. It takes time. Change takes time. And love. You should actually love yourself and love everyone, love others, and love what you do, and love one another. So, thanks a lot for all this opportunity, and looking forward to take any questions you have.
Uh, okay. Uh, uh, thanks for this presentation, Purple. Like it's a very introspective. Uh, do we have questions? I can't see now. If we do it, yeah, seems like okay. Tess said, "Love this. Thank you." But okay, like while we're waiting for people to ask questions, uh, I will go first. We talk about having faith and believing in yourself mostly. Like I think I would like to ask you, how do you know? Oh, first of all, how do you find your path, and how do you know is the right one?
Yes, I think as I explained to you, I didn't find it in one shot. I did explore a lot, and I did try, and then I found at one time that okay, it's creating great impact because in UX in India, for example, if you see, we are able to influence a lot of people about design, the importance of design, and we're able to get design as a mainstream in the corporate. And the most recent win is to get design into one of those states, like government actually accepted to be a design centric city. So they're going to build a design hub. So it is a kind of, you know, understanding the influence, how it is actually helping this. And at the same time, how do you drive it? It's not that easy, as you said, how to identify, it's not easy. You keep driving. And for example, the initiatives we do it, so many initiatives fail, but never get disappointed. And you have to come up with something which actually creates more impact. And we actually take inspiration, as I told you other day, right? I took inspiration from you. The courses we are offering now, we are making it 50% off for the developing countries. And also for the girl, child and women, we're actually supporting them with the scholarships. And we also support orphanage home. And now we are actually bringing education, design education to them. So these are all, you keep churning out new initiatives. I always wanted to see how much impact we can create and what makes it more impactful. So that's how the journey is going on. And with a lot of passion and motivation, with after even 20 years later, is still with the, maybe more than what we had, that enthusiasm. And all those volunteers, we're still continuing the journey with us.
Okay. We do have one question now. Someone asked, how do you help others find their own path?
Yes, actually, that's a great question. So all our activities we do, because why I brought this purpose-driven design thinking, because the most important thing, any corporate, we say have a right team, right? That's the most important thing. So all our volunteers, we actually talk about this purpose-driven design thinking. And now in our design school courses, we are actually keeping this as one of the subjects, as they should go through it. And we are actually keeping a lot of mentors now. And we are also teaching the mentors, how do we start thinking from this purpose driven framework. And we are actually happy to mentor anybody is interested who would like to work with us. And of course, we do it for free. We don't charge for that. That's how our mentors are so generous to help others.
Okay, fantastic. I think we're running out of time, but actually we are on time. Thanks, Babu, for your time. And people, if you have more questions, you can reach directly to Babu on the platform or like on Twitter. He left here his Twitter handle. So once again, thank you, and people, see you on the next session.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thanks a lot for people who have enjoyed my talk, or who maybe if you have any feedback, please let me know. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.